Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hawthorne High School. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Really do appreciate it. This is the most amazing social experiment, by the way, I've ever run, because I see everybody went this way and nobody over here. So I applaud all of you over here for sitting over here. Great job. You passed the social experiment. Good job. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, like I said, for coming out on a rainy and dreary 50-degree night in the spring at the end of May, which we normally think is beautiful out. We should be playing baseball or lacrosse, and today is a miserable kind of day. But hopefully we can shed some light on some things that are coming up for athletics, whether it's the middle school or the high school. For those of you who don't know me, I am Art Mazzacca. I'm the athletic director for Hawthorne, and I am also one of the assistant principals here at the high school. I'm a graduate of Hawthorne. I grew up here my whole life. I live in town. My twins are going to middle school next year, which is the scariest thought ever. And my little guy is going to be in 5th grade next year. So, I have a very vested interest in what goes on here in Hawthorne. I love it here. My wife loves it here. She teaches in town. For those of you who know her, she teaches up at Jefferson. We want to try to always give back to the town of Hawthorne. And I felt like a few years ago, we started doing these parent nights. We did them each and every season, and we noticed that the fall season, which is usually our biggest season of sports, the most parents came out. And then by the winter season, slightly less came. And then by the spring season, I think last year we had 5 parents here for spring. So I said, why don't we try and do it in one big night, and let's live stream it, which we are live streamed, just so you all are aware. So welcome to everybody that is at home watching. Let's do it all in one night. Even if it takes a little bit longer, at least we get all the information out there for you ahead of time, so this way we can all kind of be ahead of the curve come next school year, okay? And again, this is for the high school and the middle school, so everybody here, you should be incorporated in what's going on, all right? So just to get us started here, again, I introduced myself, but probably the most important person in all of athletics here at Hawthorne is our trainer, and that's Miss W right here. Miss W is... She is the right-hand person for everything that goes on here in athletics. You are probably going to speak to her way more than you're ever going to speak to me because she really takes care of physicals and registration. That's her main thing, and she's going to talk all about that in a little bit. But let me tell you something. We are very, very fortunate to have her with the work that she does with all of our athletes and what she does behind the scenes that most of us don't see. She really is more than just an athletic trainer. She basically is the assistant AD. She helps me out tremendously, so I thank her. So we'll be hearing from her shortly. And I put up here our school doctor. Those of you probably have heard of him, Dr. Tom Battalieri. He's out of Columbia University. He is a world-renowned concussion specialist. He's probably the foremost one here in the Northeast. He's traveled all over the world. As a matter of fact, he's just getting back from Iceland doing a conference there for the world on concussions. It's amazing the stuff he does. But he's only a phone call away for us, and he listens to us, and he calls us back right away. He is fantastic for us. So he's a great resource for Bailey and for myself. So again, I encourage you, if Miss W encourages you to go see our school doctor, please take every opportunity that you can to go see him. Okay, getting into our presentation now. We're going to talk about all our sports that we offer here for those of us who are new, okay? So we have high school sports, we have middle school sports. Function's a little bit different than rec. So that's the reason why we want to have this night to kind of explain everything. So in the fall, this is coming up next year. In the fall, we have football here at the high school, which is varsity and JV. We have boys soccer, varsity and JV. We have girls soccer. This year we were varsity only. We're looking to add JV this year. Girls tennis, we are varsity only. Again, I put possibly JV, depending on how many girls we have coming out for girls tennis. Girls volleyball, we've been varsity JV, and we've pretty much every year had freshman volleyball. It's been a growing program, so we continue to promote our freshman volleyball program. And cheerleading this year, we're going to have a varsity only team with our spirit squad, we call them. We don't have JV, we call them a spirit squad, which means they are on our sidelines, they cheer with us, and they go out into the stands and they throw various free items out to the crowd, all right? So they're the ones that kind of incorporate everything that goes on in the game. In our middle school, in the fall, we offer boys and girls soccer, and it is only for 7th and 8th graders. And the reason why is because we have so many kids that come out for soccer, actually all of our middle school sports, so we have to kind of limit how many kids we have. Otherwise, we'd have to make cuts, okay? We don't want to do that either. So 7th and 8th grade for boys and girls soccer, those are the only kids that can come out for soccer in the middle school. 6th grade, they do have intramurals. So for those of us who do have sixth graders or incoming sixth graders, they do have intramurals in the fall, so you will have that opportunity to do that, okay? Just to introduce my coaching staff, I'm just going to ask them to stand up so you can kind of put a name to a face right now if you don't know them. For football, our head coach is Mr. Guarnieri, Angelo Guarnieri. There you go, nice. Our boys soccer coach here at the high school is Ryan McMahon. Our girls soccer coach is Fatmir Mamini. Our girls tennis coach is Danielle Just. Our girls volleyball coach is Megan Carr. Our cheerleading coach here is Olivia Wagner. She is not here right now. She will be here shortly. So she will be here by the time we break out into our rooms. Our middle school head coaches, we have for boys soccer, we have Miss Joni Jemberg. And for our girls soccer, we have Miss Megan Waz. Okay? Let's talk about our winter. Now, winter, for those of you who don't know, in high school, if you're new to the high school sporting realm or middle school, winter season starts the week of Thanksgiving, where we have tryouts for basketball, and we start our practices. And then you really kick off kind of when we get back from Thanksgiving break. For middle school, they kind of don't start until the second week of December. They start practicing basketball and wrestling. And then their season really doesn't start until after the new year. Until the end of January, they'll start their games. Whereas in the high school, we start right before Christmas break. Okay? And again, we have our boys basketball, we have varsity, JV, and freshmen. Girls basketball, we have varsity, and we're hoping maybe we can get to JV this year. Wrestling, we have varsity and JV. We also do have girls that wrestle, so we have girls that participate in the wrestling team. Boys and girls indoor track, varsity and JV. We have bowling, varsity and JV. We have cheerleading, again, varsity only. In the winter, our varsity cheerleading team does compete in competitions throughout the area. We compete in the conference championship, we compete in the county championship. So they do have competitions besides just cheerleading at our basketball games. In middle school, we have boys and girls basketball. Again, we're limiting that to 7th and 8th grade, again, because of the numbers. I mean, I think 2 years ago we had almost 40 boys try out for basketball in just 7th and 8th grade alone. So again, that's why we can't really take 6th graders. The one sport we do take 6th graders is middle school wrestling, and the reason why is because wrestling is weight specific. Okay, so very unlikely that we're going to have a lot of wrestlers in the same weight class. So we do allow 6th graders to come out and wrestle for wrestling. Again, because again, it is weight specific. We don't have a lot of kids. They're not really competing against each other. So that's the reason why we allow the 6th graders to play, to participate in wrestling. Okay? And our staff here, so our head boys basketball coach, you saw him before, he's also our head boys soccer coach, Mr. Ryan McMahon. Our girls basketball coach, unfortunately, she did a fantastic job last year, but she was from Illinois and actually moved back home with her family, so unfortunately, we are looking for a new girls basketball coach. So we do have a bunch of candidates. Mr. McMahon and I are actually going to be interviewing them coming up in the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll have one in place before the end of the school year. Wrestling, our head wrestling coach for the high school is Greg Carr. All right. Our indoor track head coach is Mr. Gus Shell. Our bowling coach is Mr. John LaForge. And once again, our winter cheerleading coach is Miss Olivia Wagner, who, like I said, is not here yet, but will be here. For middle school, we have our boys basketball coach for middle school, Mr. Chris Warner. Our girls basketball coach, Miss Bailey Hanson. And our middle school wrestling coach, Mr. Joe Walker. All right? And now we have spring. Spring, again, for high school is March until we're still in the middle of, or towards the tail end of our spring season. For middle school track, usually starts around April. Their first meets are usually at the end of April, okay? Again, baseball, softball, again, we say varsity, possibly JV. Boys lacrosse, again, same thing. Boys and girls outdoor track. We have our golf team, our varsity, and possibly JV. We do have girls flag football. Right now, it is not recognized as a varsity sport. It will be come 26-27 by the state of New Jersey. We are thinking about the conference, which we are in the NJIC, for those of you who don't know. We are thinking about possibly implementing it for next year. That has not been voted on yet, so I will get back to you on that. But as of right now, the girls are allowed to participate in either softball or track, or and also play flag football. Once it becomes a sport, they will have to choose. They're not going to be able to do both, okay? So right now, it's not recognized, so our girls are able to run track, and our girls are able to play softball and do flag football. But once it becomes a sport, we won't be able to do that. Middle school, again, we have boys and girls outdoor track. Like I said before, 7th and 8th grade only. we had close to 80 kids, am I right, coaches, this year for middle school track? So again, with just 7th and 8th graders, we have close to 80 kids. So we can't incorporate those 6th graders because it would just be way too much for us, okay? And our head coaches for the spring, for baseball, we have Mr. John Pizarro. For softball, we have Mr. Ed Mook Iannicone. For boys lacrosse, we have Greg Carr. For boys outdoor track, we have Mr. Angelo Guinieri again. Girls outdoor track, we have Mr. Gus Shell again. For golf, we have Mr. Chris Warner. Our girls flag football coach, Mr. Ozzy Duran. I thought I saw him sneaking in, but I don't see him right now. Middle school, our middle school track coaches, our boys outdoor track coach, Mr. Garrett Postalakis. And our girls outdoor track coach, Miss Joni Jenberg. I just saw you fat. There you go. And at this time, I'm going to introduce another person that's very, very important to us here in athletics. It's our Booster Club president, Mr. Bob Pasquale. Now, our Booster Club, he's going to explain to you what they do, but he is a very integral part of what happens here at Hawthorne High School with athletics. So I asked him to come along and kind of say a few words. So, Coach?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mazzacka. So, the Booster Club. So first of all, I, like Mr. Mazzacka, I'm a graduate of Hawthorne, a little older than him. In fact, I was his wrestling coach when he was in high school. So in the back standing is 3 other members of the Booster Club, 3 members of our executive committee. We hope tonight that you'll consider joining the club also. So what is it we do? So we provide support to our student athletes and our athletic programs. So what does that mean? Annually, we host at the end of each season, there's a sports awards assembly. We host afterward a pizza and beverage party. We also pay for the senior athletes to come to the senior brunch, which will be 2 weeks from now. Additionally, we provide scholarships, somewhere between 4 and 6 scholarships every year to student athletes. That's what we do annually. We also do special fundraising. The lightning detector on top of the building was paid for by the Booster Club. The benches that are used for football games, lacrosse games, soccer games, the chairs inside the gym. What else do we have on this list? The sign over the entrance into the athletic facility. The pavers in front. These are all things that the Booster Club did to help foster the support for our programs, and all the money that we raise goes back into our athletic programs. So the next slide has some more things that we've done through the years. So the next question becomes, how do we raise these funds? Well, there's a couple things. We sell refreshment at home sporting events, particularly football games and track meets. We host a basketball tournament every year between Christmas and New Year's. We host a wrestling tournament in February. We sell the bricks, the engraved bricks that are outside in front of the entrance to the facility. Most importantly, membership fees and donations. That's why we would like to have additional members. The one last thing I bring up is we need your support. Because we do all these things, there's a small group of us who are alumnus, there's some parents who help, but we need additional help. It becomes very difficult to do the things we can do with the small group we have. So we ask the parents of our student athletes, get involved, help us. We really don't need your money, we need your time so we can do more fundraisers. So we can give that money back to the student athletes and the sports programs. So thank you for your time. Art?
Thank you, Coach. I didn't want to tell everybody that you were my former wrestling coach, so you kind of blew it for yourself there. But in all seriousness, Coach Bob, as I call him, or most of us call him, he does an outstanding job of really coming and helping us and supporting us, as well as the rest of the Booster Club that's here tonight. And I really do encourage you to get involved, because like he said, the more you guys get involved, the more things they can do, the more money they can raise, and the more things that they can give back to us in athletics. As you know, school budgets are always tight. We hear about it all the time. And whenever there's something big that I really need in athletics, I go to Coach and I ask him, Coach, is there any way the Booster Club can do this? And he says, sure, let me just figure it out. One of the big things that they are starting is an Athletic Hall of Fame, which is going to be coming out. Hawthorne does not have an athletic hall of fame. It's always been a dream of mine since I started here 12 years ago, and we're now kind of really getting the boots to the ground now. We're moving along. So expect some information on our new athletic hall of fame coming out in the next few weeks. Really, really excited about it. So please get involved if you're an alum. Start thinking about people to nominate for our hall of fame and our inaugural class. I think we're going to try to have something out in March, a program out in March to honor our first class. So it's going to be really exceptional. And again, the Booster Club helping us really get that stuff done. So thank you, Coach, and to all the members here from the Booster Club. Again, please see them in the cafeteria tonight. They have some light refreshments here tonight. So please come out, and if you consider joining them, it's a very small fee to join, and just come and be ready to help out. And I know most of you do, because I see most of you help out in Little League with all my kids participating. I've seen you all around helping out. So please help out our Booster Club. Okay, moving on, kind of talking about our philosophy. And again, this is why people like myself, Mr. Warner, Mr. Pizarro, Mr. Shell, Mr. Guarnieri, Coach Bob, Mr. Lamini, Mr. LaForge, we are alum of Hawthorne. Why do we come back here? Because we love it here. This is our family. And that's what we try to bring here, right? Everybody, everywhere else can't do what we do. We are a great, small, tight-knit community. You saw it during COVID. You saw it anytime we got involved in something, you saw it. If you came out 2 years ago when we were at the sectional finals for football, there were 3,000 people here. We had the third biggest attendance of any state sectional final in New Jersey that year, because we stormed the field, right? We were here, and that is what Hawthorne does. That's what we say, once a bear, always a bear. That we truly believe that. It is on everything. You'll hear me say it over and over again. This is home. This is our family. My kids are here all the time. My kids love it here. They look up to your sons and daughters, trust me. I tell Coach Pizarro all the time, my sons talk about Olivia Pizarro like she's a god. She's like the greatest thing in the world. My kids play football, they wrestle, they play baseball. Olivia's a soccer player and a track runner. But they love her. They worship her. They think she's the greatest thing. And that's the kind of family that we build here. That's what we do best, right? So that's what we want to really impart on you when it comes to athletics here at Hawthorne. We can't do everything the fanciest, but we can make sure that your child feels the most important to us and wants to come back here and give back to us. So again, coaching is teaching. We talk about life lessons in athletics. You've all heard that before. One thing I do say is academics do come first. Here at Hawthorne, we make sure we double check and triple check your grades. You have to have a minimum of 30 credits from the year before and a minimum of a 70 GPA in order to participate in athletics, okay? Attendance and behavior do count. We have had to remove students from teams due to their behavior in school and attendance. So again, we tell them that you are an overall, you're not just an athlete, you're a student athlete. Student comes first. So make sure you are participating in class and doing what you need to do, and be respectful, because you represent all of us that are sitting here, right? Our coaches are professionals. Again, look, at the end of the day, we've all coached, we've all been with our kids, you all wouldn't be sitting here if you didn't. We all know that there's always somebody that doesn't agree with everything you do as a coach. And that's okay. We can agree to disagree on what happens with a coach. But at the end of the day, these men and women are putting in a whole lot of time to try to win games and try to do what's best for your sons and daughters. As much as you may not agree with what they may be calling on a certain play or what kind of defense they're running, they're still looking out for what they think is best for your kids. Trust me, they are. Okay? And that's okay if you disagree with them. And you can talk to them about that, and that's okay. Well, we just want to make sure we do it in a respectful manner, right? So varsity is about building character and team, but also about winning. Our sub-varsity teams are about playing time. We like to play a lot. Get those kids in the game, get them better. Because you never know, that freshman comes in, maybe he's playing JV, and all of a sudden by sophomore year, he sprouts up 6 inches, and now he's starting on the varsity team. You never know, okay? Coaches make the best decision possible for their program. Our student athletes, this is a big thing for me, right? We encourage our student athletes, go to coach and talk to coach. Coach is a person. Coach looks out for you. Even though you may not think so, coach wants to help. Go to coach and talk to them. Now, I'm not saying don't go to mom and dad and talk to them, but I'm saying go to coach, talk to coach. Let coach know what's going on, that you feel like you don't know what else you could do better. Coach, why am I not playing? Coach, what could I do better? What could I do at practice to get better, to get ready to play? Ask coach. He's going to tell you, or she's going to tell you. They're not going to lie to you. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So that's what we really do. We try to make some responsibility for our young athletes, right? Make sure that they do their part. And again, I say parents, you can contact their coaches anytime. Their emails are right on the website. All right, you can always email me at any point in time, and I will gladly forward any emails to our coaches. Again, I just ask that we just remember, we may agree to disagree, okay? And there may be some things that we have to talk about, but we may agree to disagree, but we do it respectfully, okay? But we will always hear you out. We're not gonna not listen to you. We're gonna hear you out, and we may say at the end of it, okay, appreciate your opinion, but unfortunately we're gonna agree to disagree at this, all right? But again, we're always open to the dialogue and the conversation. And now, the biggest part of our whole presentation is to talk about physicals and registration. And this is the biggest difference for those of you who are here from the middle school as compared to rec. A lot of that stuff doesn't exist in rec, but here in the high school and middle school, we have some certain parameters based on the state that we have to follow. So we have the best person I know to go through this stuff with you, and that's Miss W. She's gonna talk you through physicals and our new registration. So please, everybody, this is probably the most important part of our presentation. So, Ms. W, this is all you.
Hello, everyone. All right, we're going to start off with physicals. Physicals changed last year after the first year of the new form. Wonderful. We're now electronic. Everything's a lot quicker. So physicals need one every year. Expires after 365 days. For the upcoming fall, the due date for high school is July 23rd for the fall season, and LMS is August 20th. For summer practices for the high school, your athletes will need to have a cleared physical, so if it expires before, what is it, July?
If it expires before June 9th.
June 9th, then they'll have to renew it for July practices. New form, as well, if your child uses an inhaler or has asthma, they'll need to complete an asthma treatment plan, which you'll see at the end. And once you hand in the physical to me, the new form now is just one page, but once you hand that form in to me, I then have to send it over to our doctor to get cleared. So once that happens, then your son, daughter will be officially cleared. Luckily, now with the new forms, it's a lot quicker. This is the only page that needs to be handed in. I will say it is so much more quicker if you email it to me. That way I don't have to scan it myself. If you send it over an email, I get it to doc that same day, can be cleared by the next day, even sometimes the same day. He's been doing a great job on efficiency. So with this page, just a couple of things that need to be signed off and checked. Top boxes, make sure one of those is checked off. The middle here, just physician's name, address, signature, and then as well as another signature for the cardiac assessment that the physician does. So this page, most important page, make sure I get it as soon as possible, and you can hand it off in paper, that's fine, but email would work better. This is the rest of the form that you have to bring to the physician. This is just the history form that you fill out, and then this is the forms that the doctor would fill out. But you keep those pages. Keep them, don't bring them to us. I'm just gonna hand it back to your athlete anyways. This is the asthma action plan that needs to be filled out if your child has asthma. Either scan it and send it or attach it as well. I send it over to doc, usually no issues. All right, the biggest thing for this presentation is the new registration. Our school, the old registration was bought out by Arbiter, the new company. The website has been, on our school website, the link has been changed, and we're all right now gonna set up an account, okay? We're not gonna register, we're gonna set up an account. So if everyone can get their phones out, scan this QR code, we're gonna create an account together and make it a little bit easier. No, LMS too. LMS and high school. All right, seems like everyone's done scanning here. All right, so this presentation is going to be up on the website, so if you don't create the account here, I have a computer version, but on the right there, you'll see the phone version. There's two ways you could do it. If you see programs, you can click programs. and it'll bring you here. You'll click that link, or at the top right there, you can just hit create account. All right, once you create an account, you'll fill out this information, name, email. I suggest using a personal email, not a school email. Sometimes the school emails don't allow outside emails to come in. So if you use your personal email, it'll work a lot better. And at the bottom, it's just gonna ask you to check off one of the boxes. Make sure it just says you agree to terms and conditions. That's the only box that needs to be clicked.
This is the parent's name, right? Not the kid's name?
Yes, your name. It's for your account.
I've done it before.
And try your best to use a username and password that you will remember. This is the same account that you will use for the next 4-6 years for your child. It's not gonna change. And don't worry if you do forget it. I think there's a way for me to find the password. It's very new to me still. We're still learning, so I think there's a way I can find your password, but do your best to try and remember it. All right, once you're done filling out that information, you will now get an email to that email address that you submitted, and it'll have a confirmation code. Once you get this confirmation code, you will then be brought back to a search bar. Now, whether you are LMS or Hawthorne or the high school, you can search Hawthorne High School and this page will show up and it'll give you the registration. All right, so if you have filled out all the information and you're still waiting on the confirmation code, no big deal. Once you get home tonight, you can finish registering, or you can do it at another time, but now you have an account. Now in your email, there will be a confirmation email so you can finish this. All right, I'm gonna continue. This is just the computer version, but it's very similar to the iPhone or Android version. All right, once you are here, you're gonna click high school registration. Now, yes, correct. It will also have an LMS one as well. This is just the high school version. This is just the screenshot I took, but there is also a high school, an LMS athletic registration version as well. Once you click it, it's gonna give you all of the sport options. Please select all the sports that your child might be wanting to do, thinking about doing. Makes it so much easier so you don't have to go back in and re-register them for a sport that they were planning on doing. If you click it on now, it's done, you don't have to worry about it. The next part of the registration is your child's information. Make sure that's all filled out. There's asterisks of all the required boxes, just make sure all of those are properly filled out. Next is the parent information, emergency contact, and physician information, as well as insurance. Then there is some health history questions. If you said yes to any of them, you'll just need to explain. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think it's a little bit easier than the old one, so hopefully there's not as many issues. Again, there's policies. These are just the state policies that we're required to have you guys look at. There's a sign-off section for all of them. Make sure you're putting your name and your child's name. At the very end, at the very bottom of the registration, it's gonna ask you to continue. Once you hit continue, you're gonna get this page. This does not mean the registration is completed. You'll see it here, and that it says it's not completed. Make sure you hit the submit button. If you don't hit the submit button, then I will not get it. So once you hit the submit button, it will say completed, you are good to go. You can also go back in and add a second child, third child, whatever you gotta do. All the information is still there, just like our school. All you have to do is click what parent, and it'll automatically fill in for you. All right, once the registrations are complete, this is what it will look like. It'll give you the child, the sport they're doing, and all of that. If you are looking to find out if I have approved your child and have said they are cleared, you're gonna click on the child's name. At the top, you're gonna switch it to activity, and at the bottom here, it's gonna say your approval status. and it'll say when that your child was approved. You'll also get an email for it. All right, so that's registration. I know it's confusing, it's new, I'm still learning it. I will be in the cafeteria after this presentation is done. If anyone has any questions, feel free to come, and I'll try to answer it the best of my abilities. All right, next we got concussions. So every year, all athletes have to take a baseline concussion test. This is done through a SWAY app, which Dr. B help develop. And at any point in the season, if I or even another trainer, coach, whoever suspects an athlete of having a concussion, they will be removed from play, participation of any sport, and will need to go see a doctor. Now, this doctor has to specialize in concussions, so it has to be an orthopedic or a neurologist, which is why I always will recommend Dr. B. He's one of the best in concussions, and it's very seamless as he gets all of our concussion test information. We can just text back and forth, and it makes it a lot easier to work with him. Once your child does go see a doctor and gets clearance, they do have to complete a 6-step mandatory return to play. This is the return to play protocol, 24 hours in between each step, and each step needs to be completed with me. In regards to all other injuries, if at any point your athlete goes to the emergency room, goes to see a doctor, goes to urgent care for anything, I need a note stating that they are cleared to play. Now, if they go to the emergency room, I cannot accept a note from emergency room. Usually emergency rooms refer you out to an orthopedic or whoever they need to go see that person. I would need the note from the orthopedic, not the emergency room. I cannot take that note. I usually try to do my best to keep athletes from going to the doctors. Obviously, if I feel like it's needed and it's mandatory, I will 100% tell you. But if it's something that maybe could avoid a doctor's, I will also let you know. And usually try not to go unless it's recommended. Obviously, if you feel like that this is something that they need to go to a doctor for, by all means, go for it. But I try to do my best to try and keep them away from the doctor. Another thing, something that's not new, but new for this year, we're going to be doing a summer weight room program. It's going to run from June 23rd to the week before Blackout Week. It's going to be Monday through Thursday. There's going to be 4 slots per day, running between 45 to an hour each. Every Sunday before the upcoming week, an email will be sent out to all athletes to sign up for slots to go to. Every athlete can sign up for 1 slot per day. So this is not like an open gym or anything like that. This is a sign up, come, get a workout in. Highly recommended for all the athletes. I will be in the cafeteria after this. So if you have any open time, after you go talk to your coaches, you want to come down and talk to me, I will have a sign-up sheet for this that, so I have everyone's emails and I can send them an email every Sunday. All right, so if anyone has any questions about anything I've talked about here, come find me in the cafeteria after this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. W. And again, one of the great advantages we have here is we do have a trainer here. So if your child gets injured at an away game, at a practice, have them come see Ms. W. Encourage them to come see Ms. W. She could potentially save you a lot of time and effort from scheduling doctor's appointments and stuff like that, because she may be able to help your child out beforehand, before it gets to a point where you really need to take them to a doctor. Okay? So again, I encourage all of you, again, like Ms. W said, if you feel you want to take your son or daughter to the doctor, by all means, that's your prerogative. But I always encourage our parents, please go see Ms. W first. And trust me, if you need to go see a doctor, she will tell you, go to the doctor. She will call you and let you know, please go see a doctor. Okay? Okay, moving on. So we're going to talk about option 2 at the high school. The weight room, by the way, unfortunately, right now is only offered for the high school students. It's not offered for middle school at this time. Okay? At this time. And I say that with the asterisk because hopefully we're going to change that moving forward. But for right now, only for our high school athletes, okay? Option 2 is also only for our high school athletes. It only applies to our high school. This year, we're changing it up a little bit, because those who have high school age students, you know that everybody here at Hawthorne High School gets a study hall incorporated into their schedule. So one of your 8 classes is a study hall, automatically by coming to high school. Now, there are some students who are overachieving and want to take 8 classes, and they get rid of the study hall. For those students, this is now available, option 2. Last year, we allowed anybody to do it. This year, we're only allowing those that are taking 8 classes, no study halls. Okay, so they are able to basically use their athletic team competition as their physical education rather than having to go to gym class. Okay, so they go to the library, they use it as a study hall. Again, it's for our kids taking 8 classes. It's a lot of our AP kids. It gives them at least a marking period to kind of decompress and get some work caught up on. Okay, for those kids that are not eligible, again, like I said, kids that are taking 7 classes and a study hall, not eligible to do this any longer. And basically what we do is we have to sit down, they get incorporated with me, we do a Google Classroom, they have to log what they're doing at practice and games every week, and at the end of it they have to write me an essay about how participating in a team and participating in athletics kind of met their qualifications for graduation from physical education. And again, it's a way to give our kids an opportunity to get some study time in, because again, we know how busy their schedules are with athletics, with their AP classes, with after-school responsibilities, stuff like that. So we're, again, just trying to help out our athletes. And it becomes a pass-fail situation for that 1 marking period. They're only allowed to take it 1 marking period for the year, and it has to be during their season. Okay, so for the fall, they would get it for the first marking period, basically. Okay, and you cannot take it during health. Okay, so again, here at the high school, the way we work is our sophomores have health first marking period, so any sophomore wouldn't be eligible to do it. Second marking period is all seniors, so that's during the beginning of the winter, so they wouldn't be eligible to do it. Third marking period is all of our juniors. Fourth marking period is all of our freshmen. So that's kind of how we're doing it, all right? But I would say that this is really geared towards our juniors and seniors who are taking extra AP classes, okay? All right, the other thing I want to remind everybody of is where to find our schedules, okay? Our schedules are on our website, okay? It's on our public school website. It's on the main page. It's on the middle school. It's on the high school. If you scroll over athletics, you'll see schedules. You're going to click on that. And then this little page comes up with all of our schedules. I encourage all of you, if you have not done so already, there's a little button over here on the right-hand side that says Notify Me. Click on that. Sign up for text messages for all the sports your kids play. And the reason why is because you get instant access as to what goes on. So if you notice here in my schedule, because this is this week, you notice here the things in red, okay? It says rescheduled to 5:20, rescheduled from 5:20, rescheduled from 5:16. Anytime I make a change and I hit submit, it goes right to your phone. So I encourage everybody, sign up for that Notify Me in any sport that your kid may do. I have some parents who sign up for all the sports because they want all the information. That's a lot of text messages and emails that come through. But any change I make, as you see, like I said, anything in red, especially this spring season, because it's been miserable the last few weeks, there's been a lot of changes, especially with senior day. Oh man, with baseball and softball, we had to change senior day at least 3 times. So again, you get updated right away. Okay, and I kind of chose this screenshot because this is this week. This is literally tomorrow and Friday, and you see how many changes we've already had. Okay, so that's why it's so important to use that Notify Me button. Okay, some other important information. Unlike rec, we do bus our kids to different athletic events, middle school and high school. We are responsible for your kids when they're with us. Just like we're responsible for them at school, we're responsible for them when they're at our athletic events. We cannot just release them to you or anybody else without knowing ahead of time, okay? So I need anybody who wants to pick up their son or daughter, and again, those of you who have done this before know I get back to you immediately. You send me an email, copy coach on it. Just say, Mr. Mizaka, I would like to pick up my son or daughter right after our game today. I usually will reply right back immediately. Not a problem at all. Thank you for letting me know. Coach is attached or coach is copied. So coach knows little Jimmy or Johnny or Jenny is going to go home with mom or dad or aunt or uncle or whoever. So this way we now have established a chain of command here. Okay? We have to do that legally, everybody. Again, I said, we are responsible for your kids. We can't just release them. So if you forget to email me and you're going to pick up your son or daughter, our coaches normally will say, did you email Mr. Mizaka? And then they may ask you to, can you email him real quick so I can get a notification that he or she is able to go? And again, we're not trying to be a pain. We're just trying to make sure we're covering our coaching staff and myself. So please, please, I encourage you, if you know ahead of time you're going to pick up your son or daughter, just shoot me the email earlier. If you forget to copy coach, it's not a problem, because my reply, I will copy coach on it. Okay? The other thing I will say for our older kids, our students are never, ever, 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 ever allowed to drive themselves to an athletic event. Never. Never happens. Okay? Again, let's go back to what I just said. We're responsible for them. So we are not letting them drive anywhere. Because what's the first thing a teenage kid is going to do when they get in the car to go drive to a game? Hit the gas, I don't want to be late. And we don't want any accidents happening. Okay? Your kids are too precious to us to put them in danger. So we never let them drive. Now, we usually don't let you drive them either, unless there's a circumstance that comes up. And again, all you have to do, email me, Mr. Mazzacca. We have a doctor's appointment, and I don't know if Jenny's going to get out in time before her softball game. Is it okay if I take her to the softball game and meet coach there? You'll get an email back. Not a problem at all. Thank you so much for letting me know. I can't think of a time I've ever told a parent no. Okay, so again, all I just need is the paper trail. Just send me the email, and I'll get it right back to you. I literally will respond right away. And I think any parent in here that I've seen email me before, you know I get it right back to you. So, okay? So just please make sure you do that for me. Okay, senior banners. For those of us who have seniors here, we do have our senior banners. You saw our spring ones up. They're still up right now. Our senior banners are purchased by the parents, or sometimes our teams are fortunate enough to fundraise some money, and some of the teams do sponsor them. But unfortunately, not all of our teams can do that. So the banners are the responsibility of the parents, we say, and they are $45 a piece. Checks need to be made payable to Hawthorne Athletics. I will say we've had an issue, not so much in the spring or the winter, but in the fall, we had a bunch of kids who came out late, and it backed up our printer. So we are now having to, based on my vendor, we're now going to have to implement a $20 upcharge for anybody who orders a banner late. So if you have to order a banner late, it'll be $65 instead of $45. What we do is we do a media day here. We're actually going to do multiple media days each season. We kind of changed it a little bit. So for the fall, it's going to be in August. We're going to have, I think it's 3 days, where your kids are going to be able to come in. They're going to get a scheduled time with their coach to come up, get their pictures taken, and we'll send you all the information well in advance. Okay? And we do 3 days now, because if you miss day one because you're away, then they got 2 more chances to be able to come in and do it on time, so you don't have to worry about that $20 upcharge. Okay? Senior nights, again, a very big deal here, right? We just had our baseball and softball one yesterday. Our senior nights, we're going to put together an announcement before every season. So in July and August, you will see my announcement that'll come out for the fall. Here are all of our fall senior days: football, marching band, cheerleading, tennis, volleyball, all the way down. You're going to get a list of every day that you're going to be able to come. You're also going to get told when senior day is going to happen, because some games we do it before the game. Sometimes we do it at halftime, and sometimes we do it at the end of the game. So we want to make sure you are there and your family is there to be able to enjoy your last senior day with your kid, right? So again, I will make sure that post is put together. I will email it out. I will put it out on social media. It'll be out for all of you to see, all right? Senior night presentations are coordinated by the head coach. Our head coaches sometimes do different things. I really don't do much with it. I'm there to take the pictures, say hello. They run the whole show because they're the ones that are involved with your student all the time. Okay, so any questions you have about senior day, talk to your head coach. Okay, and I know most of our teams are underclassmen, parents, and kids kind of take care of that part. But again, run everything through your head coach. Important dates that you need to know ahead of time. Our fall sports awards for next year will be on November 24th, Monday. It's the Monday of Thanksgiving at 6:30. Winter sports awards is Monday, March 9th, 6:30. Spring sports, June 1st. Our senior brunch that Coach Bob talked about, next year will be on Sunday, May 31st at 9:30 over at the Brownstone. The seniors go free. The parents have to pay. I don't have that price yet because obviously I didn't get to the Brownstone yet because we have our day coming up June 1st this year. And for all of our first team All-County Award winners, the county runs a county dinner for the boys and girls at the end of the year where they get honored and they get a plaque. Now, good and bad thing. The county sport has exploded, and we have a lot of kids getting first team all-county awards, not just us, everybody. So we're having an issue finding a venue that can hold all of our kids. So that's why you see up there it's TBD. Normally it's at the Tides, but the Tides said they don't know if they can hold us moving forward with how many kids we have making all-county. So we're looking into other venues. So that's why I have it as TBA, and you will find out about that as I find out, because I am actually on the county executive committee. So once I find out, you will know well in advance of anybody else, okay? The other thing I will tell you is that blackout week, which is when no coaches have any contact with kids. There's no practice, there's no weight room, there's no nothing. Blackout week this year is July 28th to August 3rd, okay? I can tell you right now, if you go on that blue calendar that I just showed you, the schedule, I always have it up there for the following year, probably around January. You can always look in the end of July. It's always going to be that end of July, beginning of August. Pretty much bank on that every year. So if you're setting up vacations, bank on that. It's usually that last full week of July kind of goes into August. So again, this year it's July 28th to like August 3rd, I think it is. It is Saturday to Sunday. Okay, so again, it'll be every year. If you ever have a question and you're booking well in advance, you're booking, I don't know, Disney or Universal well in advance, or a trip to Italy, just call me if it's not up there for the next year and I will let you know. It's probably going to be this week. Okay? Okay, last thing. So this presentation is going to be up online. It actually, like I said, we're live streaming it, so it's going to be on YouTube. But I will put this presentation up on my website. If you click on athletics, not scroll over it and you get the drop down, literally click on athletics. This presentation will be there tomorrow morning, okay? These links here are for you. This is for all the places you're gonna wanna go. And they're all live and they all work and I checked them all out. So you have our Hawthorne Athletics page, you have our sideline store, which is run through BSM, which any athletic gear you want, purchase it there. Our parent coaches handbook, which you have, our schedule, our arbiter registration, all the way down. Biggest thing I would say to you, it's a social media day and age. Follow us on social media if you don't already. Okay, follow us on social media, because we do put out a lot of stuff on our social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram and even our Facebook. Last thing I'm going to talk to you about is our athletic survey. You probably have seen this up on social media. Our Board of Education is just putting out a survey about making some changes to our athletic complex. This is nothing that's written in stone. It's just a survey. It's just asking questions, yes and no questions. Would you be interested in this? Would you not be interested in this? Whatever. We are in a day and age where we need to really take a look at our facility and what we could do to improve it. And that's what the Board of Ed is trying to look at. And that's all this survey is trying to do. We're not trying to cause, I've seen it's kind of caused some backlash on social media. It's not trying to do that. It's literally just asking, would you be interested in these things if we did it? Not saying we're going to, it's just asking, are you interested? So I encourage all of you, if you have not done so, to please fill out the survey. All right, I have it up here. You can scan that QR code if you want. You'll see them all over the hallway as you're walking through, because I put them up all over. They're in front of every room that you're going to be in tonight. So please, I encourage you, just fill it out. Again, you're not committing to anything. You're not saying you definitely want this or not or that. Just fill it out, because your opinion matters as to what we want to do moving forward to try to make it better for our kids, to make it better for their experience. Okay, so I'm done talking. Nobody wants to hear me talk anymore anyway. What we're going to do now is we're going to break up and you're going to meet our coaches. Now, how are we going to do that? Because we're all here for different sports. Here's what we're going to do. You're going back to school, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have periods and we're going to have the bell that's going to ring. So what we're going to do is our first period, we're going to go to your fall sport coaches. And they're going to be up in their rooms. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm going to ask our fall sport coaches, why don't you guys go to your rooms right now? So this way you're there ahead of the parents. We're going to meet in those rooms for about 10 minutes. Coaches have a presentation for you. They're going to talk to you about everything, talk to you about a bunch of different things. So it's really important you go to the room and talk to them, okay? After about 10 minutes, you'll hear my lovely voice come over the loudspeaker and tell you that the bell's about to ring. We're going to switch classes. And then you're going to go to the winter season. And then after 10 minutes, you're going to hear me come on again, and we're going to switch to the spring season. If you have time in between, let's say my son or daughter plays football, and they don't play anything until baseball season. Well, in the winter season, you're going to come on down to the cafeteria, and you're going to enjoy some wonderful refreshments supplied by our Booster Club. Hopefully sign up for our Booster Club to support us. Talk to our trainer, Ms. W. You can also come down and see me. I will be in the cafeteria as well. And if you, again, like I said, so in between time, we have something for you to do, and then you can go back. Okay? All of our LMS sports. So anybody here who's here for LMS, you're going to all meet in the gym. So this way we don't have anybody getting lost, because unfortunately, usually my LMS parents are the ones that get lost when we're walking around the building. So I'm keeping you all in one area. You're all staying in the gym. okay? My high school parents, you should know where you're going, so you're gonna be moving around. All right, so all the LMS parents are gonna stay in the gym. All of our presentations are gonna be done in the gym for LMS. And here's what we got. Now, you don't have to panic, you don't have to remember this. You don't have to remember this, because again, these are posted up, and I have 8 wonderful high school students who are out in the hallway to help you out. They have the list of all the classrooms for you, so you don't have to worry. I also have the names of what sport on each classroom, so you know where you're going. So first, you're going to fall sports. So this one you can pay attention to. So our first period, you're going to be in football. If you are here for football, you're going to the library up on the 2nd floor. Everything's on the 2nd floor. Boys soccer, you're going to room 225. Girls soccer, you're going to room 219. Girls volleyball, you're going to room 222. Fall cheerleading, you're going to room 218. Girls tennis, 214. Marching band, I take that back. Marching band is on the 1st floor. They're in the band room, 125, which is down the hallway. And middle school soccer, like I said, you're going to be in the gym. Okay? Again, after 10 minutes, I'm going to ring the bell. Here's our winter. You don't want to remember this, so don't worry about it yet. And then after 10 minutes, here's our spring. Again, don't want to worry about that. But here, if you click on that, you can get the full list right on your phone. So you don't have to worry about looking at something or asking one of our kids. It's all right there for you. If you click on that, there you go. I'm going to get out of your way so you guys can get it. And I'm going to say, thank you so much. Welcome to our home. We welcome you home. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it meant something to you tonight. I hope you take something out of this. I really do appreciate you all coming out. Please take the time, go down, see your coaches at this time, or go down to the main cafeteria and talk to our booster club. So thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate everything.